like most of the time I won't just get criticized by getting told that I rode the worst race and this and that. I'll actually get advised. They actually give me advices and like tell me what to do, what can I do next time, what should be like the right thing. Or if I do something wrong, like except from riding, like just something personal, I also get that kind of advice from everyone else. So I don't really get told that I've done wrong and get shouted on, but then like I do get advices from
Yeah, well,
that.
you better get.
Welcome to another edition of In the Box Seat with myself, Warren Lenferner, my good friend on my left, Andrew Harrison, and we've got a very special young guest today. He is from the South African Jockey Academy, the world-class South African Jockey Academy, Keratile Katjedi. Let's go to our guest first and greet him. Keratile, how are you?
Good, thanks in yourself, Mr. Lanferno.
Very good. I'm well and lovely to be sitting around the table with you here at Summerveld and looking forward to hearing and learning a bit more about you.
Yes, thank you for having me, you and Mr. Harrison over here.
Now, Bushy, how are you?
He's ducking his work. He should be out there.
No, it's 9 o'clock, 9:05. He's
He's got school. Is that what
He's got school, so he's
yeah.
fitting us in.
Was you and Donut at the school?
Yeah, it's me and Donald
Who's
which are in
Donald?
school.
Donut gets it.
Okay, is that his nickname? Okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Have you turned all the taps off?
What for?
We need no more rain.
No, we're going to get a bit this weekend.
Have you checked the forecast?
Yeah, because I'm going fishing on Saturday, so it will definitely rain.
Okay. Keratile,
Yes,
it's lovely to have you here, and it's lovely to learn more about you and chat about you and your career and all those sort of things. But for those that might not, well, let me ask you this. Firstly, how old are you?
I'm 17 now, turning 18 in August.
Sure. Okay. When is your birthday?
21st of August.
21st of August.
There's a late fall.
Is a late fall.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Naboomspruit, Limpopo.
Okay, so that's
No, Wormspruit, it's holy moly, you know, holy moly. That's the bloody pothole capital of the world.
Pothole capital. I don't know if you've been on the Summerveld Road and on a few roads.
Oh,
everywhere.
that's just a minor bloody problem there.
Okay.
Try holy moly.
We had to drive yesterday from the Midlands all the way into Durban. I think I need to get my shock absorbers checked. The roads are a little not so great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where you're from,
So,
and your father, your late father, was known by many in racing, and I had the privilege of knowing him. In fact, back to the days when Gary Rich was at the South African Jockey Academy, we all knew LJ Katjedi,
yes, sir.
and he's your dad.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a bit more about your dad and your family.
Coming to my dad, I won't say I really do know him well in person because he passed away while I was quite young.
Yes.
So I wasn't that bright by that time. I couldn't get to know him very well. But then having my grandfather at that time, it was quite fortunate of having him by my side because he actually introduced my father into my life, I'd say, and making sure that I know who my father is. But then I grew up knowing that my grandfather was my father. So it was the other way around, but then I knew who was my real father.
So your grandfather actually got you into the academy, or
Yes.
put that idea into your mind?
Yes.
So did he feel, obviously, that because your dad was a jockey, he sort of made sure that he not pushed you, but he guided you in that direction to become a jockey?
I feel so because like one of the things which he told me is that like my dad was carrying me the one day and then he actually tuned my father about me. He was like, nah, your child doesn't look that great, just playing around with him. And then he was like, nah, I do have got a plan for him. I know where he is gonna be going like in the future. So he asked him like, what are you planning for him? And then he was like, I think it would be a great thing if he also becomes a jock. So he kept that in mind, and like as I grew up and like as I got much more brighter, he like just told me about it, and it was like becoming a jockey was something which I loved from like just being a kid. Like just even before he told me that, because I was watching like my dad's old races and everything, I was like, you know what, I think I do want to do this. I just want to be like my dad. Not only that, and also like just being in a different environment. Because like horse racing, I'd say at home, is not a well-known sport.
Yes.
It is known for punting and that, but then like not a lot of people go into it. So I was like, you know what? I think this might be an opportunity for me. Like, why not? So let me just take it.
I think Nelstroom's the only town in the whole of South Africa that hasn't got a Hollywood Bets outlet. Yeah.
Well, no, wait till Hollywood hear that, then they'll be looking and investigating.
Yeah, but it's a long way from Nelstroom to Summerveld.
Yeah, no, it is a very long way. Actually, Nelstroom is just before you get to my town, Naboomspruit.
Naboomspruit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But now, Keratile, tell me. So, what was the first? So, what was the very first step that you can remember? So, once you discussed this with your family and you realised that, and your grandfather realised that this is what you want to do. Was the phone call to the academy the first step? Was the drive to the academy the first step? What was your first step?
The first step was actually the phone call to the Joburg Academy.
Okay.
Because my dad he knew Mr. Moore because of my father, obviously, and
Sure.
he just called him. But then I remember it was quite early. It was like in 2014. I was only 10. And he actually called Mr. Moore and asked him about the recruitment and everything. Told him my age and everything. But then Mr. Moore just told him that, hey, you'll need to wait for a couple more years because he's quite young. So I think he gave us like a 5 years time span to wait.
Now, sorry to interrupt you. That must have, now with your grandfather really chomping at the bit, pardon the pun, to get you going.
Yeah.
And when he made that phone call and heard that, hang on now, you're way too young, you have to. That must have maybe taken the wind out of his sails a little bit, because now maybe he's excited and now he has to wait.
Yeah. No, because like just after that phone call, he was like, but then like back then I used to be quite big. So that was the other thing. He used to tell me that, hey, you look quite big for being a jockey. We don't know how you're going to look when you grow up.
Sure.
So we just hoping that you get much more slim when you grow up so that you can actually get to fit into the academy. So as he saw that 5-year time period, he was like, you know what? In this 5 years time, that's like what will tell us if he is actually going to fit into the academy or not. So
now your weight. Now let's just fast forward it a little bit. Your weight. Do you have what is your weight, and do you have a problem with your weight?
my weight currently is 45, and I don't have a problem with it. I do have a problem with it with just being too light.
Too light.
Yeah.
Don't you wish
lucky
you and I used to have that problem when we were younger?
I never had that problem. But you can eat hamburgers and that. Just think of poor old Zuma, man. Old shame, man.
Vanilla Zuma.
Funela, yeah. Jeez, he weighs about 38 or something.
Nah, he's 40.
Tiny,
He's 40 something.
He's
in the
a bit of
40s.
conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like
and Keratile, how many winners have you ridden in your career thus far?
I've ridden 4 now.
4.
Yes.
So I mean, the point I'm making is look at how the life progresses and how one's journey progresses. The phone call was made. He was too young. The concern was his weight, and that was it. Now you fast forward the clock. Your weight is no problem in the sense that you need to fatten up a little and bulk up a little. You've had 4 winners, so you are well. The point I'm making is that you are so well on the road to your dream and to your career. I mean, that must really give you a lot of encouragement.
Yeah, it really does. And like also with the people which I'm working with, like all the trainers and everyone which is behind me, they always supporting me. Like I always do get that everyday support from everyone, and also from my family, I'd say, because they call me every day. My grandmother calls me every day to check how I am, when am I riding, what's going on, and they're just so interested into my life. Like it just shows that support, and that's what's keeping me going at the moment.
Your breeches that you ride in, those the other day when I saw that at the races, I got a little emotional, and I'm proud to say that, because anybody, whether you are a male, female, or any human being, it's good to show emotion, and to see your dad's breeches, I mean, that's special. That really is special. And tell us a bit about that. That he's with you in every race.
So by wearing those breeches, I really feel like he is with me. I really don't want to lie.
Absolutely.
It feels like he's just next to me, just guiding me. Like with all the good things which I do in races, I feel like he is the one which is actually riding the horse. I'm actually not there. But then,
Well, put it this way, your dad was a good jockey. I remember
Absolutely.
that.
He
Yeah.
certainly was.
He was on his way to the top. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him very, very well, and a lot of racing enthusiasts will remember him. Now, there was a film or an insert or a documentary, or call it what you like, that was released this very morning on you,
Yes, sir.
on the Gold Circle YouTube and on the Gold Circle platforms. Tell us about that. That sounds exciting.
I haven't seen the final product yet, but then I know what was going on in it. So it was very quite exciting of doing something like that. I think it will actually help me a lot in terms of getting rides and like getting owners to know me and like just getting my name out there. I know it's already out there a bit, but then not as much as I would like it to be. I would like it to be much more wider.
Yes. Now, what I wanted to ask you, Keratile, is, and Andrew, you might look at me sideways because you might think it's a silly question, but we know the answer, but I want to ask it to you so that the public, our supporters, talking about supporters, you just didn't know where to look this morning. You couldn't believe it.
I nearly fell over. Someone actually came over and said they liked the show.
Can you believe it? I mean, are they still here?
They're sitting outside
They're sitting outside. We had a young man and a young lady come up to us, Keratile, and just congratulate all of us for this wonderful podcast and just really enjoy it. And the TV show with young Raheel, who's bringing in the youth of racing. So we were quite impressed. I mean, well done.
Yeah.
But you couldn't believe it.
No, I got embarrassed.
You did get embarrassed.
But
He
then-
doesn't like compliments.
But then why is it like your guys are doing a very good job? I don't want to lie. I do watch your podcasts and like I do really enjoy them.
You enjoy it?
Because
Yeah, of course they do. What's not to enjoy?
Okay.
Anyway, now back to the question. Back to the
I'll get to it.
At this level of your career now, are you happy with your riding style, with your riding, or do you believe it's a work in progress?
I believe that it is a work in progress. Because at the moment, I know it's not so easy to get somebody's riding style into perfection, but then I'm working on towards this my father's riding style.
Okay.
That's what I really want, because he had that strong riding style, but then like he was also like a racing intelligent guy. Like he could see how the race was gonna unfold itself. See, so that's what I'm actually like. That's my main point at the moment. But then like pushing and everything, I'm getting there. I'm quite there, but then it'll still.
But it's
need
still a bit
of
light
time.
when it comes to like a tight finish and you've got to shove her a bit.
So nah, I think I can do it. Spare just proved a point with like just beating Keegan on the line.
He took 2 crackers.
Yeah, but then those
That takes a bit of thing to outride
Yeah.
King in the Miller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a stick too.
Yeah.
So he really did a good job over there with like riding him out. So I really do believe that he's much more quite stronger than me. But then, you know what? I'm looking forward to like also being like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's I watch, and I'm sure you do too, and I'm not getting clever, I'm just saying I watch racing every day. I have a bet every day, as you know, and I've watched recently some lovely finishes, some lovely tight finishes, where the jock is using his stick 100 meters out, you know, in the left, in the right, etc. But that last like 80 or 100 meters, 50 meters, stick goes away and there's just that strong push, you know, that wow. And I find a lot of those jocks that do that, and I'm not criticizing anybody, I'm not telling anyone how to ride, I'm just telling you what I've observed.
Yeah.
Those horses seem to find that last bit when you use the stick, you put the stick down, and that behind the ears, and you just shove it away.
Yeah, but some horses don't like to be panel beaten, and they prefer to. I remember Michael Roberts when he rode Toto, I think it was a King George or something. He was in a tight finish, and he said the horse was curling up underneath him, so he put the stick away and rode him out of the hands, and it just quickened away, and he won easily. He said, but if he'd kept on with the stick, the horse wouldn't have done what he wanted. It's not an accelerator.
Yes, it's not an accelerator, correct. It's a persuader. That's well said. It's a persuader to get the mind on the job and then put the persuader away and go with the hands. Again, I'm not a riding master. I've never ridden a horse. It's just what I've watched with my eyes. So the point I'm making...
You have ridden a horse. I saw you sitting on one of Gary Rich's, the poor bastard's bloody back nearly broke.
You didn't see the one in Joburg at Paul Peters that I sat on. It's never been the same since. But Keratile, so pushing, where I'm getting to is that pushing with the arms and getting, pushing. Well, you can't push with the legs, I suppose, but pushing is a hugely important part of riding. You've got to be strong in the finish.
You have to be very, very strong in your pushing. Because some other horses, like you said, they don't really like people using the whip. So you have to be that strong, like you have to be a very strong rider to be able to get it over the line. So pushing sometimes really helps.
Were you around when Robbie Sham rode?
Andrew, it's a good question. I must have been, because I remember the commentary in the Rothmans July in those days. It's since the Vodacom Durban July, now the Hollywood Bets Durban July. The commentator shouting, "Robbie Sham, we knew you could do it on Spanish Galleon." So I must have been around.
Do yourself a favour and try and get a few videos of Robbie Sham. He had the most awkward riding style. He used to sit up like a bloody monkey up a pole. But the horses used to run for him. And I remember the other jock saying, "Jesus, this player just sits there and he goes, clink, clink, clink," and the horses should... It was a different class. So.
Yeah, I remember small memories I have of I was a bit young.
He was a great jockey.
So we've been treated to some thrilling finishes and some thrilling rides, with using the persuader and punching out with the hands. And South Africa continued to have phenomenal jockeys from all over the country. Now, who gave you your first ride?
It was Mr. Darryl Moore.
Okay, Mr. Darryl Moore. And who gave you your first winner?
Mr. David Nevenezen in Joburg.
That's right. Okay, but then, now, excuse me if I get confused, because there's so many appies and they're doing so well, which is a wonderful thing. You're the same apprentice that rode double on the day, is that right? Who was that went to Joburg?
No. No, there's no one who rode a double on the day at Joburg.
Sure there was two or 2 in a week, or 2 in 2 days.
Oh, yeah, I rode 2 in 2 days. My last 2 winners.
That's it. There we go. That's it. One was in Joburg, one was here.
No, one was in PE on Friday.
I'll get it right eventually. There's so much racing going on, it's hard to keep track. But the point, so you had 2 winners, one the one day, one the next day.
Yeah.
And now that must have been you must have really felt proud of yourself.
So, because I was going home that weekend, and what I told my grandmother actually on the phone before the Appy races, I was like, I think I'm going to have a present when I come home for you. So, as we went to Joburg, I was like praying for myself. I'm like, you know what, I really feel like Joburg is my lucky place, because I went there, like my first meeting there, I got my first winner. Then my second meeting, I ran third, and then I came back. That was my third meeting. I was like, you know what, I really think I'm going to come back with a winner today. And then my first ride there on the day, it cracked it. Then I was delighted with it. I was like, maybe this is like enough for my grandmother.
Yes,
then like the following morning, as we went to PE, got there, it's very different there. So like it was quite hard to tell if I was going to ride a win on the day or not.
Sure.
So, but then like the other horse which I rode, Miss Nibbles, that's the one which like actually gave me a good feel, because I just came into the straight sitting and I was moving up, like just moving past people, and like at the 400 I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to catch it. And then like there was only one horse to beat, so as I changed my hold, I had my stick in my left, and then I just kept on using. I think I hit it like 4 times on the left, and then I was away. I was clear by like...
I remember that was Gavin Smith.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Our good friend Gavin Smith. When you're learning Keratile, and when you're learning your trade, and you're going, through the classes, and you've got coaches and riding masters, but trainers and owners, how do you come under constructive criticism?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's criticism and constructive. We like constructive criticism. How do you take, if a trainer feels you've ridden a bad race and you've disappointed him or her, and they criticize you, how do you take that?
Sometimes it really does hurt, like if you get told that you rode I'd say the worst race, and like you feel like you rode the best race, because sometimes like the horses tend to go some other way than like how it has been expected to go. So if it is like that, I just take it as if like it's sort of like a learning curve, I'd say, or like it's a learning way for me. Like most of the time I won't just get criticized by getting told that I rode the worst race and this and that. I'll actually get advised. They actually give me advices and like tell me what to do, what can I do next time, what should be like the right thing. Or if I do something wrong, like except from riding, like just something personal, I also get that kind of advice from everyone else. So I don't really get told that I've done wrong and get shouted on, but then like I do get advices.
Yeah, well, you better get used to it, because it's going to carry on for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter if if you're 50 and you ride a bad race, you get shouted at. Because
like as I started off, it used to actually sit on my heart and like just be there like for the rest of the week. I used to take it a bit personal, but then like
human, it's understandable.
But then like as time went by, I just got to like understand how these things work, and then like if I did maybe ride a bad race and like I get told that wasn't your best ride, like you need to shine up, I'd actually go back at the academy and like just go and watch the race and like just make a review by myself and see what I might have made wrong in this, and then maybe take my phone after that and call the trainer and just ask him if that's the thing which I've done wrong, and then if he says yes, then I know that that's the thing, then I know what to do next time. I'll actually ask for more help.
You can make mistakes tactically and things like that, but a lot of people don't understand. To get to the line, you've got to bring the horse with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes the horse doesn't perform to the way that the trainer's expecting it to perform, and they blame the jockey. But you've just got to do your best.
Yes. Alistair touched on that. And by the way, I don't know, Alistair rang me, I'm sure he rang you. Huge positivity, huge success. Loved that podcast like you can't believe.
Oh, did he send a check? No.
No, he didn't send a check. He might send a case of beers. But we must just remind you, they're talking of the sale. We must talk about the sale coming up next week as well. But that was a very good. And the best news of that Alistair's interview was that the 90 odd new owners that had signed up. I mean, that we need to do an advert for.
Oh, really?
In fact, don't you? I'm going to actually make a note of that advert for the owners. I must talk to Stephen Marshall about that, because I mean that's to be. Everyone must know there's new owners around. Mm-hmm. So back to Keratile. My little bit of advice that I can give you is that when you come back from riding in a race and you think, well, maybe you like not sure if you must maybe just say to your trainer as you get off the horse, give me some feedback. Were you happy with that? What could I improve? As you've just said, speak to your trainer and say, I wasn't so sure. I'm on the fence. Tell me more. And let that trainer that way, rather than coming back and blaming the horse and saying the chain didn't change its legs, etc. Come back and say, oh, Mr. Whoever or Mrs. Whoever, tell me about this ride. Were you happy? And let's see how they. And also, you're so lucky you've got your riding masters, because if you think that maybe you've done your best and you rode a good race, and that you see the trainer's not very happy, then you can go to your riding masters and say, please, let's watch the tape together.
Yeah, now
point something out to me that maybe I'm missing.
Now they do race reviews with us like every week, so that actually does help.
Yes,
because like each and every week, I think it's Tuesdays or like any other day of the week. If it's not a Tuesday, we do have race reviews, and they actually get to tell us where maybe we might have went wrong, and maybe you can bring up your point and tell them maybe this was the trainer's instructions and whatsoever, and then like they can actually get to correct you the way how they think, and you also got the other point of view from the trainer, so you can actually just get to see how you can fix yourself, I guess, and just do the right thing next time.
Yeah, the thing is, I think it will pay to be honest. If you think you made a mistake, to say to the trainer, look, I think I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I remember I had a bloke, Jimmy, something, he went to New Zealand eventually. But he kept a book. And every time a horse came back, and he used to write down the jockey's excuses on his horses. He wrote it down. He said he got to about 201. He said the best one he came back, it was Paul Gasby rode a horse. And he came back, I can't remember the bloke's name. And he just said, sorry, Mr. whatever his name was, I cocked it up. But a bit more...
a
bit more flavourable. That's the best comment he got from all his jocks.
No, it happens. Unfortunately, it absolutely happens. But if you come back and you say, well, fine, maybe the trainer will say no, everything was fine, and then you can be at ease. But what is just lost my train of thought for a second. What is the first thing that Keratile Katjedi does in the morning when he wakes up? Alarm goes off, your eyes open. What's your first plan of action?
I check my phone firstly,
yes.
And then I grab my toothbrush, then go to the bathroom and make sure that I'm clean, get ready for track, and then make sure that I'm in the bus in time.
Okay. Have you ever missed the bus? Have you ever been late for the bus?
So yes, I have been, but then it hasn't been just been
occurrence,
it's just a couple of times, maybe twice, I think. But then all in all, like from as I started off, I think it happened as we came back from home, like December holidays. I was still chilled a bit, and then like that thing caught up to me the next morning, so I couldn't wake up. But then after that, I was fine.
I was when I was in the hotel industry many years ago. We went on a conference and we were going on a bus up to the Berg, and the bus was leaving at 8 o'clock, and 10 past 8, my phone was ringing. Fast asleep. Woke up. Hello. It was my boss at the time. He says, "We're waiting for you in the bus. Where are you?" I said, "No. I'm on my way. You know, I'll be there." I was still in my bed. I just opened my eyes. I said, "I tell you what, let the bus go. There's a bit of traffic. I'll meet you there." I had to drive myself all the way to the Berg because I overslept. It happens to anyone. You can oversleep, you know. I should have just told them I was overslept, but I didn't want to get fired.
Yeah.
So I had to drive myself all the way up to the conference behind the bus an hour later. What school did you go to before the Jockey Academy, Keratile? Because you speak absolutely magnificently.
I went to Waterberg High School in Limpopo. It's in Mokopane. Yeah.
Mokopane.
Yeah.
What was Mokopane in the old days?
But
Wombos?
No.
No.
Piet Potgietersrus.
Potgietersrus.
Okay, so you know that. You know, you seem to know that area.
Well, my daughter was up there.
Okay.
She was at Mondoro Safari Lodge for 2 years. Yeah.
Actually, I've been asking for lifts like
Yeah, I've been
when he
asking
goes
for
there.
lifts.
Okay. Well, then you haven't made it to you
Well,
go there all the time.
well, she's gone to Pinder now, so I don't go there anymore.
Why I say that you speak beautifully, which you do, is because as a jockey, you need not only to be able to ride a horse, but communication is also key. And I've had the privilege of doing a few interviews with you, and for me, that is
It's key.
it's
yeah.
key to be able to talk, to be able to communicate, to be able to put your point across, because you are your own. There's only one person that can market your business.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There's only one person that can market your business, and that's you. Yes,
Yes.
the Jockey Academy can help you, and they do. But after your time, you are your own boss.
Yeah.
So that is a big plus to be able to speak and communicate so well.
Yeah, so, thank you very much for that compliment, I guess.
Now, talking about communication, the Jockey Academy, the bursaries that Hollywood have brought, it's just wonderful because we need to keep this industry, yes, and the establishment going because they continue to produce fine products.
Yeah, we need to keep the establishment going. I think now that COVID is almost a thing of the past, you might get a few overseas apprentices coming to learn their trade.
As they have been here before.
Yeah.
How many? You in your third year?
Third year now,
Third
sir.
year. Okay, maybe it would have been just before your time when the internationals came.
Yeah.
And that was a huge plus for us.
Yeah, well, it keeps the academy going because they come with cash.
Yeah.
It's basically what it boils down to.
Keratile, do you have a favourite horse at the moment, or do you have not particularly one that you've ridden or was your first winner, but at track, do you have a favourite horse that you just love riding every day?
So at this track, I won't say I do have a favorite horse, but then like just from looking at overseas horses and like just looking at races, there's just only that one particular horse which I actually like. I like the way how it runs and like it just turns it on like nothing. Like it just does it so easily. The horse called Golden 60 in Hong Kong, ridden by Vincent Ho. So that's the horse which I really do like.
Hong Kong racing, that's right. Okay, interesting that you mentioned that. So you obviously keep an eye on racing all over the place. Hong Kong, when Mauritius starts, you watch as much racing as possible.
Yes, sir.
She's okay. I know that
Well,
was very good horse.
That's your trade.
Absolutely, that's
Yeah.
your trade. Just to change the subject, sorry for a second, by talking about stakes. I know you don't do the shopping. I do the shopping at home, but your wife does the shopping. Is she collecting those stickers from the spas?
Yeah, well.
Please, let me tell you, our house, make a nice roast or a nice big fat rump, and you take the first knife out, and it's like trying to cut it with a stick. No good. Then you take the second knife, and we haven't got a sharp knife in our house. So anyway, now the spa starts with the stickers. So my stepdaughter says, you will please buy us a nice big carving knife. So I go to the spa, I get a carving knife. We had steak the other night. My goodness gracious me, I nearly slid off the kitchen counter. It was so smooth. So now we've got a good cutting knife for our steaks.
We got about 10 frying pans. So.
10 frying pans, no steak and no
No
knife.
steak, no knife. And tell me, do you and Donut go to sleep in class? Because I think the only two of you in the classes are still at school.
It depends. So like we alternate. Sometimes he sleeps, I take the notes, and then I'll sleep and he'll take the notes.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Okay, so you work in partnership.
Yeah.
Why is there's only two in your year? Is that all in your class? Or
In our class.
are you in matric this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's just you and Donald in matric.
Yes, sir.
And obviously you've got various teachers, but Mr. Nell, it would be remiss if we didn't talk about Mr. Nell, Marius Nell, who's been at the academy for years. Great teacher and a great man.
Yes. Very, very great. I would say I really do like him as a teacher. And also like just having him to be teaching me maths lit, and it just quite makes it easy.
Yes,
Like whenever he sees that you can actually do a thing, he just moves on and like just keeps on going and make you do as much work as you can like throughout the year. And then once you're done with all the work, like you just start revising, and like you just check out the time when you are done. It would be actually much more, I'd say, earlier than how the other schools would be. They would be maybe halfway through the year, and while you are done with the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So you're just revising and you're just ready for the finals by that time.
Yeah, no, he's a great educator, Marius Nell, he really is. But just 2 or 3 more questions and we're going to wrap up, because you've got to get to school, you've got to get to class to have who's taking the notes today, you or Donald?
I think not. Today's going to be Donald. He was sleeping yesterday.
So you're tired, okay. What a lovely conversation. We're learning a lot about Keratile. And there was one other I just wanted to ask you before we wrapped up. We've spoken about your school. Oh yes, that was it, to wrap up. What irritates you the most? What makes you cross? Or what makes you sad? What irritates you?
It's easy going.
I really don't know. So
Okay, well, that's a good answer, because that means you don't get irritated easily.
yeah.
Okay.
I got one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Who's going to win the Hollywood Bet July? Durban July.
So
You've been clocking all the gallops there. We need an early heads up here so we can get on.
yeah. I personally like Pomp and Power for Justin Snaith. I think if it just gets in the
Have you
July.
seen him work here?
Nah, not yet.
Not yet.
But then,
So you're just guessing now.
yeah.
No, you're not guessing. He's seen the horses racing so far. He's followed the horse's progress. Yeah.
And
Okay.
also, like, just do it again. I think I personally think, just because the crowd will be back, all those other horses don't know the crowd. So if they pull the handbrakes, it'll be just cruising through them.
Okay. Well, yeah,
So
he's a
also-
soldier. He's a soldier.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last thing to mention is the sales. Next week is the Bloodstock South Africa National Yearling Sales, and what a day we had yesterday. I had to leave you to do the work. We went to Summerhill Stud, Bushhill Stud, Clifton Stud, Camargue Stud, and
Jeez, you blew a lot of smoke.
what does that mean?
Jesus, Dorfo.
A lot of smoke. I mean, I'm not praising anybody. I'm just telling you where we went.
Yeah,
We went to,
yeah.
I'm trying to think.
But aren't the yearlings already up there?
No, they're
Not yet.
leaving on Friday. I'm
Okay.
just trying to think. There was 5 farms that we went to: Camargue, Summerhill, Bushhill, Spring Valley, your mate Bruce,
And Clifton.
and Clifton. Those were the 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So we've got KZN and South Africa have got some fantastic yearlings. So get to the Bloodstock South Africa National Yearling Sale in Gauteng next week. Also, lots of racing action. Keratile, it's been wonderful. We would normally go on a bit longer, but we know you've got school. We know you need to go and get something in your tummy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your humbleness. Thank you for your hard work. And really, we just look forward to watching you blossom and grow and develop into a rider of high quality that we have no doubt that you will. So we wish you all the best, and we thank you for your time.
No, thank you very much, sir.
I'll see
for
you at
having me.
Ashes tomorrow.
Please, yeah, don't let him. Is he still not wearing shoes at Ashburton?
So it's an everyday thing. So I guess that answered you.
Keratile, lovely to have you, and all the best. And we'll see you in the number 1 box soon, I have no doubt.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's a wrap from us. It's been a little bit of a quick podcast today, but Keratile is under a tight schedule. He's had to stop riding work a little early for us. Come and talk to us. He's going back to the academy to have something to eat, and it's a school day today. So from all of us, Tawanda Taravinga, the whole team, Sam, everybody behind the scenes, and of course young Keratile Katjedi, watch this space, watch this insert that they've done on our YouTube and Gold Circle various platforms, because I can tell you it's going to be a humdinger. Andrew, thank you, and nice to have you here as always. Be safe, everybody. Please be safe and be nice, and we'll see you as always in the